Hi, I'm Gigi. We are going to read The Rocket Book. This is by Peter Newell, and let's see what happens. The basement. When Fritz, the janitor's bad kid, went snooping in the basement, he found a rocket snugly hid beneath the window casement. He struck a match with one fell swoop, then on the concrete kneeling, he lit the rocket and she, oop! It shot up through the ceiling. Look at that. Straight up. I wonder what's on the other side of that ceiling. First flat. The Steiners on the floor above of breakfast were partaking. Crash came the rocket unannounced and set them all a-quaking. It smote a catsup bottle fair, and bang, the thing exploded. And now these people all declare that catsup flask was loaded. Do you think that means? They thought maybe that the catsup bottle blew up all by itself. They didn't know it was a rocket. That's what I think. Do you think that too? We're probably right. Let's see. Second flat. Before the fire, old Grandpa Hop dozed in his armchair big, when from a trunk the rocket burst and carried off his wig. You see the wig flying? It passed so near his ancient head, he roused up with a start, and turning to his grandson said, "You fellas think you're smart." You think he thought the boys did it? He didn't know it was a rocket, did he? Yeah, I don't think so. Third flat. This is the next floor up. Algernon Brackett, somewhat rash, had blown a monster bubble when, oh, there came a blinding flash, precipitating trouble. But Algie turned in mild disgust and called to Mama Brackett, "Say, did you hear that bubble bust? It made an awful racket." I don't think he knew it was a rocket either. I think he thought it was his bubble. What do you think? Yeah, you agree? Fourth flat, another floor up. Joe Budd, who'd bought a potted plant, was dousing it with water. He fancied this would make it grow, and Joseph loved to potter. Then through the pot, the rocket shot and made the scene look sickly. "Well now," said Joe, "I never thought that plant would shoot so quickly." You see the picture? Do you think he thinks the plant is growing really, really fast? Fifth flat, another floor up. Right here 'tis needful to remark that Dick and little son were playing with a Noah's Ark and having loads of fun, when all at once that rocket stout up through the ark came blazing. The animals were tossed about and did some stunts amazing. See the animals flying through the air. Sixth flat, another floor up. A burglar on the next floor up, the sideboard was exploring. The family with the brindled pup were still asleep and snoring. Just then up through the silverware the rocket thundered, flaring. The burglar got a dreadful scare and out the door went tearing. Seventh flat, another floor up. Miss Mamie Briggs, with no mean skill, was playing Casey's fling to please her cousin Amos Gill, who liked that sort of thing. When suddenly the rocket hot, the old piano jumbled. It stopped that ragtime like a shot, then through the ceiling rumbled. My, right through the piano. Think it ruined her song? Me too. Eighth flat, another floor up. Up through the next floor on its way, that rocket dread went tearing, where Winkle stood in bathrobe gay, a tepid bath preparing. The tub it punctured like a shot and made a mighty splashing. The man was rooted to the spot, then out the door went dashing. Do you think that means he ran out the door? Yeah, me too. Oh, another floor, ninth flat. Bob Brooks was puffing very hard, his football to inflate, while round him stood his faithful guard, and they could hardly wait. Then came the rocket fierce and bright, and through the football rumbled. "You've got a pair of lungs all right," his staring playmates grumbled. It shot right through the football. Do you think his playmates thought that maybe he blew it up too hard? Me too. They don't know it's a rocket, do they? Oh, another floor up, 10th flat. The family dog with frenzied mane was chasing Fluff the mouser when poof, the rocket flashed between and quite astonished Towser. Now if this dog had wit enough, the English tongue to torture, he might have growled such silly stuff as, "Phew, that cat's a scorcher." See the picture? Another floor up, 11th flat. While Carrie Cook sat with a book, the phonograph played sweetly. Then came the rocket and it smashed that instrument completely. Oh no. Fair Carrie promptly turned her head, attracted by the roar. "Dear me, I never heard," she said, "that record played before." Do you think she thought it was a record? She didn't know it was a rocket blowing up her record player. Another floor up, 12th flat. DeVere was searching for a match to light a cigarette, but failed to find one with dispatch, which threw him in a pet. Just then the rocket flared up bright before his face and crackled, supplying him the needed light. "Thanks awfully," he cackled. Looks like the rocket lit his cigarette. He shouldn't be smoking though, should he? Smoking's bad. It's not good for you. 13th flat. Home from the shop came Maud's new hat, a hat of monstrous size. It almost filled the tiny flat before her ravished eyes. When shoop, up through the box so proud, the rocket flared and sputtered. "I said that hat was all too loud," her peevish husband muttered. He thought her hat did it all by itself. That's just silly. Up another floor, 14th flat. Tom's pap had helped him start his train, and all would have been fine had not the rocket, raising Cain, blocked traffic on the line. It blew the engine into scrap as in a fit of passion. "Who would have thought that toy," said Pap, "would blow up in such a fashion?" Silly, huh? Up another floor, 13th flat. Orlando, please, quite at his ease. The Morning Star was reading. "My dear," said he to Mrs. Pease, "here's a report worth heeding." The rocket then in wanton sport flashed through the printed pages. The lady gasped, "A wild report!" then swooned by easy stages. She thought that was the report in the newspaper, not the rocket. These people are kind of clueless. Up another floor, 16th flat. Doc Danby was a stupid guy, so lest he sleep too late, he placed a tattoo clock nearby to waken him at 8. But the rocket smote that clock and smashed its way clean through it. "You have a fine alarm," said Doc, "but say you overdo it." See that? He just thinks the alarm's too loud. Goodness. Up another floor, 17th flat. This is a really tall building. A penny liner, Abram Stout, was writing a description. The flames shot up, he pounded out, then threw a mild conniption. So what he's doing is he's typing. And that is a typewriter, and he was typing the words, the flames shot up. For through his Flemington there shied a rocket hot and mystic. I didn't mean to be, he cried, so deuced realistic. You see the typewriter? He thinks his words made the typewriter do that. Do you think that's silly? Me too. Oh, another floor, 18th flat. Gus Gummer long had set his head upon some strange invention. Be careful, Gus, his good wife said. It might explode, I mention. Just then the pesky rocket flared and wrecked that Yankee notion. I feared as much, his wife declared, then fainted from emotion. One more floor, 19th flat. Well, Bert was on his hobby horse and riding it like mad. The rocket on its fiery course upset the startled lad. The frightened pony plunged a lot, like fury playing tag. Whoa, Spot, said Bert. Who would have thought you such a fiery nag? Do you think he thought the rocking horse did it all by itself? Me too. But he's silly. 20th flat. A taxidermist plied his trade upon a walrus head. It really made him feel quite afraid to meet its stare so dread. When suddenly the rocket bright flared up and then was off. Oh, Minnie, cried the man in fright, just hear that walrus cough. So if he's a taxidermist, that means the walrus is already dead. So it's not going to make a roar, is it? He's silly. Top flat. Oh, it was just a splendid flight, that rocket's wild career. But to an end it came all right, as you shall straightway hear. It plunged into a can of cream that Billy Bunk was freezing, and froze quite stiff, as it would seem, and so subsided wheezing. That's the end of the rocket's trip. Went right into the ice cream bin. And no more surprises through the floors. All done. I'm Gigi, and I will read it again. Make sure you subscribe and like, and we will bring more books. They're still coming. More stories to come.